Okay, so welcome to my first Visual Basic or VB.NET demo. Uh, in this current project, what I'm going to be showing is a simple pixel art application that I made as a little one-day build project for fun. To start off with, I'd like to say I had 3 goals going into this. That is to be able to paint a pixel art image on the screen. 2 would be to export that to image file. In this case, I went with a PNG just so I could have the transparent pixel background, as opposed to a JPEG where it would be solid color. And then if I went to do something with it later, I'd have to cut that out. So it saves me time. And then 3 would be to read it back into the application, but also read in files that are different sizes. So, okay, from there, let's just go to the generic layout. Right here is where the grid will be generated. I'm just getting this size, so height, width, properties, and location. This is just a placeholder. The grid itself is drawn behind this, just on the form itself. I have the generic 16 color palette. As far as tools goes, there's an eyedropper, eraser, and the generic color wheel with the color dialog box. But in the case you just want to enter the hex code yourself, you can type it in here and then hit submit. I'll update the current color and then you can paint with it. Just so if you're using a lot of custom colors, you can always add it to the favorites bar where you have 12 options down here. You just hit this add and then it should pop up down here. And then recents it just the last 12 colors and then it cycles through. So up here is going to be where the project path is. So in the actual runtime of the application, you would see the pathway to where it would save to up there. If you don't see that, it won't save properly. Yeah, let's just run through it real quick then. Okay. So as you can see, the project pathway is here. It loaded it back in because I have the last project that was open. The pathway to it saved as a system settings variable. So this last project is Monokuma from Danganronpa, if you know what that is. If not, that's all right. As you can see here, the black is not the generic black in the color palette, it's custom color. So if I get that, that's the hex value. Then I can just paint over it. Now there's the eraser if I want to erase colors. So what that does is just clears the value into in the bitmap array, and then just paints it with whatever you have the background color set as. So I can go down to recent colors. Oh, that's left from debugging, and then paint. Okay, that's good enough. So say you want a different background color, you can go options, stage color, and I'll just do like this lavender. That's good. Then if you notice like right here with this dark line, that's actually a bug resulting from I was trying to be efficient with how I was drawing the screen. So instead of redrawing the whole grid each time there's an update, I just did the cells that were affected. But because the pixel size isn't standardized, because I wanted to be able to change it, it's not pixel perfect in some areas. But if you just redraw it like you do when when the options menus have their leave event, then those are gone. So I probably should just switch to that in the future. It's not really noticeable, like delay, unless it exceeds like 100 by 100 file format. So yeah. Next, you can make a new project. I would hit new, pick a size. Let's do 25 by 5 for some reason. You can see it's here, and then just paint. Yeah, it's pretty. Yeah, it's pretty all right. Some of these weirder file sizes, some of the spacing isn't perfect, which I can fix down the road if I wanted to, or I could just like make a standard template that's 24 by 24. But so we're gonna open the previous project, which I named m2.hx file, and then it's there. Um, yeah, notice there's also another bug here. I didn't clear the form properly from the last one, so there's some residual there that I need to fix. But as far as a one-day build goes, this isn't too bad. And then I added drag events to the border. It's a custom border, events for the exit, minimize. Yeah, it's a prototype. If I was going to I would revise it a lot more going forward. I just wanted to get a general idea of how the layout would work and try a newer layout, I suppose. So you hit X, do you want to save? I'll say no. Okay, now let's look at the file type. Bin, debug. So M2, the hex file, it actually just outputs the hex color codes in the file. And there was actually a bug here where I transposed the X and Y axis to the file, but I also read it back in that way, so it became a feature as opposed to a mistake. But generally, the game plan here would be to add more frames later on down the line, but as opposed to having to read in all of this again and again, frame 2 would just be like the changes, all the pixels that change from frame 1 to frame 2, and then from frame 2 to frame 3, yada yada yada. Hopefully reducing some of the redundancies, and it'll add to the file save time, but it should optimize, hopefully, in most cases, optimize the draw times going forward, and like rendering, uh, yeah, rendering the different frames. And then this is how the image turned out. Mind you, it's a bit blurry because currently I have it set at 200 by 200, which if we go back to the code, which would be here, it's going to be form load. I could change it to like 2000 by 2000. May add that as an option later on. But yeah, it's nothing really too complicated here. Just a lot of hover events and yeah, learning how learning how to handle some of the visual uh, components of making a GUI. Because the backend stuff's easy, you can do that all day, but at the end of the day, it's like you have to make something that people will use, otherwise, what's the point? So that it was another attempt at that. So if you guys have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them below. But yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching.